Oh, Jesus. Radibwanyu. Oh. Charlie.
Oh, Jesus.
I want to say to take someone's back.
American destroyers, nente of the aircraft in Kwande Guso. And yet, they are finding it difficult because American are confused now, so uncle full scale. Or you're not just so full scale, they have to kill them all. And that will create also another word problems. And I said, if also say America can only launch from those countries, not closer to the belts of Iran. And it is so to flight now, or the free either Saudi Arabia base, and answer or the free Qatarian base. And see facing problems because of your friends in Burkina, Niger, and Mali.
My name is Aite Powers, aka What Can. Keep watching THEO TV. It's the best TV you have to watch in your life. I'm telling you, Aite Powers. THEO TV is the TV I watch all the time. Yeah. Push.
Ghana for no peacekeeping or Iran no. Ebi mu akoka ama say yedi omo maka na ko share underground bunker bi mu a na omo yestay empire and yes say Ghana for my empire bo yefanta Ghana for na omo wo peacekeeping no yefanta bo yefanta omochi because Ghana no ye say we soldier ni na say etumi ma akonya na ko peacekeeping na oho breakthrough eho no baba na osika sam no bibia eko high eno na ma soldiers for no be to ton sase esumisi dan ni ade na me ko pe bibia bedi enem be de na bia ene na ewade omrem nti mesre say dem paibo kese paibo kese pa betai Ghana for na omwo peacekeeping no echi wo de men semre yebeko na yakọ akọhwe videos na ene nsema ekoso na yenya expert bi ono so wasua de akọ about war ene ade wo hwe World War 1 ene World War 2 na utumu se wakobrom na wa me atiase kura se America war bi odi kuku ba the way omangasa project omo ho na omka omo nsem nti be ka se war bia omudi nkunim eno na nam so ma Iraq Ebola fu penyi bia mukokun no amasua say no omo Americans more than their air Trump can go Trump say nipa be me nsa bi na omo ho aka America for but according to sources no Iran for so omo bo ya chichi bebre na masante say omo chi America for bia eche say omo nkwai pacho say yenya omo na ntokwai third world war na egbo baba na will China join be joining ntokwai we dia na eche say we are so minim we dey men go video no bra
Subscribe.
I think someone's back.
Oh my God. Oh, Jesus. Radibwanyu. Oh. Charlie.
United Nations Interim Forces UNIFIL moboa for peacekeeping Lebanon 2 missiles chiamaya kodie mienu aba beto omo camp hono a chese around 5:45 to 5:52 mu ho na sa missiles yi elande ye Ghana battalion headquarters Lebanon na omo chese soldiers for mienu de omo critical condition mu pa chese omo prepare ba ko so traumatized chese de akoso no abafa ne trim na camp a be omo da officers mess be omo da omo juju omo ho socialize edidi bibia ansana omo tu anamon bia eso mutu no sa camp ne ho na missiles no ebeto ya ehono mo ahia eno na etwagu yi na omo prepare ne de Ghana Armed Forces HSS omo gi ayarehwe ewo medical bunker either underground hospital and as a very strong concrete structure omo abuild for these military men in case omo pra and omo prepare no eje ayarehwe Ghana Armed Forces HMA just say de omo hoye kakra omo be transfer omo de omo akọ headquarters of the United National Interim Force Hospital na Ghana Armed Forces anche missiles nipa omo toye and as a country kura to missiles na hwan na to missiles nanso so de entia amanfo suspect say Israel for na to missiles ye be chirim
They are behind the wall.
They're behind the wall.
Yes. I'm afraid they will share again.
Everything is gone.
Mommy! What the hell?
We don't run swim, oh, sir. We don't run swim. It's over. Don't worry.
Oh no.
Mommy! Window!
It's Ali. Hey, sir. My is in the side.
Yo, what?
My everything is gone.
Hey, Charlie.
Come inside.
Quick.
Sir, but the whole put them there for good from Monka. Okay. If we want to give different Monka.
Okay. Let me go to the command bunker.
Charlie.
The gas. Pick them from there.
Everything there. Fuck. This is sir. Everything inside do.
Okay. Are you ready? Passport or?
Jesus Christ. Me too. Everything.
Sir, what is this? Your passport?
My passport. Everything.
Which one?
Everything.
What?
Everything. My passport. Everything. Sorry. Have you been here? It's the only thing I have. Jesus Christ.
I took someone's back.
Oh, Jesus.
I want to say you take someone's back.
I'm glad to.
I'm going out. I didn't come back.
Because it's not the freedom now.
I'm going out. I didn't come back.
Because it's not the freedom now.
And these Ghanaian soldiers are soldiers for United Nations Interim Force in Lebanon, UNIFIL. They are for peacekeeping, so they are peacekeeping groups sent by the United Nations to Lebanon to help keep peace and prevent fighting, especially between the borders of Lebanon and Israel. And to prevent fight between Israel and Lebanon. Said the local people na feel safe. Na omo collaborate with the Lebanese army na asumdwe aba. Na Ghana Armed Forces the press release no eba no omo kire say this missiles nsensem akoto Ghana camp na Ghana battalion headquarters no fallout and ntokwa between Israel Defense Forces and Hezbollah. Na mamincha modema this fight between Israel Defense Forces and Hezbollah no eba she say southern part of Lebanon Ghana for missiles no kotoye. So me twanin tientie mu a the historical part of this Israel and Hezbollah shall say 1948 time Israel create omo state omo beye Israel omo de omo ho. Now fast forward lead to 1948 Arab-Israel War. between the Israel and several Arab countries. All because before 1948, na Israel a British mandate for Palestine, na both Jews and Arabs. That is from 1920 to 1948. Inti from mandatory Palestine. So in 1948, na Arab-Israel war, some of the Palestinian refugees a movie called Lebanon. Inti movie called Lebanon, and armed Palestinian groups na omo movie called Lebanon no a omo kretuo ene akode no na omo attack Israel for ni bi every Lebanon kro no so that time in Israel for retaliate here omo de omo military retaliate here na ye ntokwa kakra that between these Palestinians omo call Lebanon hono omo attack Israel for no na Israel for no so retaliate and the Korea say Palestine Liberation Organization group Palestinians for forming a PLO, Palestine Liberation Organization. A movie fighters no more now called southern part of Lebanon in 1960 to 1970s more. Hono and Tokwano sa twaso Israel for any Palestine for southern part of Lebanon. Zan Tokwana nedidima yin say about Palestinians ne Israelites ne dia and Tokwano at the so 1978 then Tokwani dimu. And a United Nations United Nations Interim Force in Lebanon. They say Ghana for soldiers. You do omo yetadi omo ko hono said ye be ya omo ebakwa keep peacekeeping mission. Now 1982 and Israel invade Lebanon because no one who said the attack in free Lebanon side the air banner say omo anye ward be omo enti omo invade Lebanon 1982 enti ekreti 1982 Lebanon war because Israel for say omo person omo yi Palestine Liberation Organization PLO fighters na omo kogu Lebanon omo person omo yi omo free ho enti during in Tokwano Lebanon capital your friend Beirut omo bombe ho bebre thousands of people died. PLO no omo free Lebanon. In 1982 Israel for etimi PLO for no free honom no free Lebanon honom no and a group B from Hezbollah no a group omo so omadwen say ombe fight Israel forces. Normal resist Israel influence in southern Lebanon. Now it is on record said this Hezbollah group are more southern Lebanon. Enya support from Iran's Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps. Now more musika akodie ene normal ebetimi aboa ama Hezbollah for na fight against Israel. Normal promote Iranian style Islamic revolution. In the Hezbollah anti-Israel. Said the state of Israel cry a free ho. In the antoko between Israel for any Hezbollah for any day. No more dimaya. A two try in say ya peacekeeping koso die. Anka bibisa emma. Fast forward second match and talk between Iran and Israel. US support or more support Israel from 27 28 February ebesi match mua chese missiles air core Middle East after US for eku Ayatollah Khamenei supreme leader of Iran no and Hezbollah for say and almost so money Israel for missiles nibi and some drones are money Haifa Israel Israel air defense intercepted some of the missiles. Hezbollah for reason say Yakum supreme leader of Iran enunti almost so air fight almost so air retaliate and Israel for say and almost so retaliate retaliate to the extent say 50 villages of the southern part of Lebanon there Israel for almost say free hokra and they say say the Hezbollah for attack almost so air retaliate. Now Lebanese government Prime Minister Nawaf Salam say the Hezbollah and send some Hezbollah attack na attack ni there nim ho hwe de condemn say there be ehun hia say Hezbollah ebeye sa. Now we be say enti na Lebanese for and stop it Hezbollah for na say omo mpamu omo Hezbollah no a political party ebi mu esa wo Lebanese parliament. That means Lebanese for be a part of the Hezbollahs chese omo esa armed group militia enye easy manfra enye easy say omo betimi a stop omo. The second match here Hezbollah for strike ye Israel for retaliate ye no ho no na Israel for the report by say omo kum Hezbollah intelligence chief just odi omonim Hussein Makled. In the second match Hezbollah for strike here abran tokwa between Iran and Israel US no ekoso no eno na Israel for ehya ase say omo so retaliate enya nim say Hezbollah for Lebanon ho na omo eno ntie den Israel for to Lebanon na beko. In the third match match wumi and a Hezbollah for backed by Iran omo esade missiles money Israel for biem omo military bases any other important areas and Israel for respond omo so eto missiles eba Lebanon. Now during this time third match no na Israel for no omo ebewura southern Lebanon chese villages many areas be omo share omo ho say omo evacuate omo enfree sa biae ho no chese omo seize sa area ho no na no and United Nation interim forces omo ewo Lebanon Ghana soldiers for ho omo report say Israel troops be across the blue line into villages like Makaba and other areas the southern part of Lebanon. And so fourth match na Hezbollah for still na no omo money drones and missiles echo Israel to the extent say omo report say Israel for soldiers be cry wounded Israel for retaliate here. In the fifth match and a UNIFIL a United Nations interim force in Lebanon announced say second match Hezbollah for a strike Israel for retaliate and as almost so a strike back no 210 missiles and a Hezbollah for a fire to the northern part of Israel and Israel is also a reply and the United Nations interim force in Lebanon Ghana for ekahuno omo de na omo condemn attack because they are there for peacekeeping.
Tactics no a shit out a better a Iran for inferior tactics no na womu use no. That is why womu timi no utimu say obi timi free ni memu kura akwachi obi president e wo ni memu. The tactics no superior. So alunti no Iran any America for entokwai na yade a the handwriting was on the wall. Na womu nyina nim enti enyamfumu kura say Tokwano esi America den warships nyina kwakosi poso a aben ne hwina no e de alupre bebre egu ship no so ada basis American basis wo nyina no ya we o ma let o say yenni alubaba ye say nuclear weapon na wo ye no bomb okodi ewu no wonye biem obejai na yenyina ya to adwene sa wodi ye anema bi a wodi beso wonka ne anu ade a asetremu abrabo a ele ye pene so na Iran for fi say sa antema o muka no America for timi nya hwe America for timi nya hwe sa de yenyina no ye ti no anase ye ka no na even kura no mu supreme leader no a okoko wu ye no na wono ankra ka bi say America for nim no mo bo mo musuo na mbe ye ya wo me ya America for say to support enti ni nyama oye nyina no fi say America for the time to kwalo wo mfa mba because om the bar om ni so so watu ni mo ba om betu bia mane wo mo nkrofo na how long and I bet me atu say atu no mo bo how can you survive the whole operation enti no wo mo amfa nye asem hia and wo mo so woni say Israel so no any Iran for omo tokwalo that time Palestinian tokwalo was no Iran eto paye emane Israel for omo to ho em say 12 days and omo ko san tokwalo na amanfo wura mpenifo wura mu and omo pattern tokwalo mu jaye enti sabu fo no da so ho ti America and Israel and akabomo Israel for zero omo etuo no nyina wo Iran for so America for so kojina posono womo zero womo weapons womo tuo ni nyina all the military installation ne baby womo ye tupa ye kodi ewu ni nyina enu nti no womo prepare ana we nu fi say womo sojafo bebre Iranfo fi so womo sojafo bebre akon no mbekon so no ebia na enya grand fight womo ma ukrom ho emegina ho enko ne momo meto ne sam modern warfare ye to bombs no ni ade ene de ba
eno de mejo duro ene de ene eno anu aka no sesia no entokwa no uniform sania bayi momo sojafo no ebia bu gina fam de wuram ne gotam na mo ye yi no wodi ayi area ayi nko a ayi topai no ni we tiwe de egunu ya to de egu na ade ba ko a ayi Iran neighbors no wo mo buafu ni say Iran fo no beto bomb no de akwa America fo no so a ba bi America air base no wo no mejo enduru ho na se airport wa na kwa kotom na ejada airport no mu hotel bi da si ba bia na kwa kodro na bibusa say sojafo adwuma no mo no se wo ba betutuo na wo pasa wo tutuo no ede ba wo target na se enduru ho a unhunu untimi wo se tua metua distance no enduru ehon ne tesai
wo beto wo besete bomb no mileage anase kilometers dodo a pese enko na what we set say wo green reference baby aboba no anase tuo no enkoto bomb no enkoto ni nyina no wasese no wo bomb no ho enti no wunim baby ai beko but ye wo akode ene akade a etimi no ebre na anu ase ebia woto ye no mo so apeja bibi wo wiem enti baby a distance a person ka bomb no nko no eduru ho a na anu abrase ebi kura e pai wo wiem pai e wo wiem ntimi nduru ho na pai wo wiem na egu baby a wo person ke beduro ele bi wo nso na se mba na se anibiri aba okay ye nya military base na am bomb wo mo a ye pokoto baby a amanfo obubefu aka America say ye kum civilians untokwa ntini ye kum wo moto mato na akokoto baby a wo pe na nka ya na nka strategic places no ene esa wo bombo na nya esa wo to manko bob nipa baby a ena mistake nso timi ba mistake timi ba ma tuo no baby a target ye no na bia na nye sojafo aso ye enti na akokobo baby tubo a one mistake no akoto tupa ye ni bi na akoto school dem na school for ewu de bi ha na ye buapaye pa se me to ama minya no ama no konko bo because wo mo de video ni tuo ho akade adane ye de bebesi ho se me to kura minya wo mo enti ma me to enko ne enko bo ne krobufo se de be ya abufuo be ba nipa na ye no ko no so
Derek, where the Major Derek Odro retired, so Jamini Bida. Now, what na before I found Mati, the Akosonasi. Say a ye fono, Israel fono ne, women Wamusu Yusu, Iron Dome. And Iran fono to at the Bomuswa. Now Iron Dome no, Ason Yema Papa, and nature say, Baby Iran fono Pasanka, Abubanu Kodron, and Druho. Enti epani wiemu a ene ba bia beto bia no na ejanso etuato school asema wo kan so Iran abanda ba beto dwa se American fo kra bepe ayato na kunu no American fo ni Israel fo tuo ni bia ba beto school da bi mu ye ho kra ye girls school ambo mokum emayu anu ne nipa bia ben ho ekra ebeye se ebe eduotu ni akiri
aya no kra American fo tuo ni bi ekoto baby a ensese kokoto ebo ho a even framakura no enya effect ewo bomb no a ekọ no so etimi misfire etimi kokoto baby a ensese ekokoto na kwanya onfa so omukum supreme leader no ankasa no unsa military operation no ya na ke no don e de ahmache a de ebetie no any e de yes operation but we de omunya intelligence report say empanimfo ni nyina ekwa akohia supreme leader no ama o ma ye conference Enti wo motwa ya what time no be nonkro ne fa ena wo initiative operation no ejai bomb no bomb nko a be ya aduasa ena wo nkotugu sa supreme commander no wo mo na kase wo
edi entina debre wo munya defense minister no say kun no ema chief of defense staff ne the deputies ne drone unit commander ne nyina according to Donald Trump ne Benjamin Netanyahu no wo so munya asojafo mpanifo commanders ne abam mpanifo be se 40
aburo sakra mpanifo no makana wo mo be di akire no ne wo mo ayina no aburo aduonum 50 na sabre no na wo mo kwakoye meeting e wo ho mo nyina kwakohia enti wunya intelligence report pa say sabre ni menya nipa dom no a mehwe wo mo no e wo ha ene say Iran fo no wo mo hwiri ni papa e say wo mo kwakoye ni ankwada be di akirefo na say wo mo atutu atuodum ni ade because enja pani no wa akotutuo ne mom ye wo expert abetutuo no de ba wo mo abema command ni ade se to kwa ye say ni ade no wo mo bebre ewu we ni ama ehu ni say ekon no anya de a ebekwa chiri bebre
Donald Trump says major ye be flow ye yai na Donald Trump so ankasa kra nwie yai gu so ye monitor no wayi wo gina White House ho no mo na wo se America sojafo miensa no a memne dan wo mu buye no wo bo wo mo abaso enukra major enukra ba chire mu adentina say ye be bo soja ni abaso a wo te ase mo na abaso wo wu awi afre ne esa akotu no post mu
yeah soja ni a wa to na nanom won se do wo ko ano no na ja sa wo ye obi a wo kontokwa anase na ni yeden obi a wo ye hufuo soja ni a wo ye hufuo no wono emptem bia wo dwane kwata ba bia atuo nka no nti obi atuo be ka no akokoduro a wo de koye akoko ntokwa no eno nti na ma wo kwa animu ma atuo e ka no sa agrofo ne ye bo o ma ba so wo ne ye from yi se wakole krachi na wode no ni moja ene na akokoduro ti abona ba so na ahye nipa enkuran se de be ya wobia enya ehu bia na suro bi woni mu na wotimi akwa animu wobi nso akon no be wieye na wanhwere ne kra no aba ne from veterans ne je se wakoko akọbotuo agituo enso wanyankwa asa aba betrase wonyina nso no ye bo ma ba so ye bo mo medals enti wo mo awuo no yes ye bo ma ba so se be hye wo mo sojafo na aka no nkunan na wo mo akọ wo manim minia
yo we de mejo adawro ma se de ayi Donald Trump kasa wo so wo hwa entokwa no be travel be se 4 weeks. I said 4 weeks later so I finish ayi Iran for nyina e wo me say Iran for no so grown wo die kura wo mo ne be call as long as they can enti na che say no nwie enti be da wase asi ha na brano no BBC ya begin chiremu
yo fa de se me wo ma mo abri nyina
that's it we Major Derek Odro retired soldier penny ya wa humije mu na nanado aban bresu ya so na waye osoafo bambo esoafo ene na twetwe enkomoyi yenimu enwie na yeguso a ya ye hwe afi ye san ba bekire mu gentira a friend say ayi amanya ni Iran ehia no wo muso bu ofu Iran amatisi ano ewiem sen hey enkofuna ni adimbruta Iran for no wo mu na timi ama America no ankasa atre wo no ankasa ni wiem san atwene obra Faruku aba ya fa Faruku ntoaso yo bia fa Faruku ntoaso preko na awia ye no na start wo de akwapa ma mu Philip na big bro me samu akwa aba de ba angel so anwumre ka se boss way
yo so
Iran for eno na make Iran for timi skills bi ama American for no ankasa ate wo mo ankasa ewiem san ba akwa ate atwene wo Kuwait se yesi afra no friendly fire ana afi energy facility bi wo Saudi Arabia Iran for akotwa jatum entese ano wuji sise ekuwa be de betimi apata bia Iran eni ni nuanom ama emu adu kakra.
Okay, Kojo, the whole thing is said we am seven just kakra, but yeah, no need to have need go through. The point is Iran, as Americans are aware, on yet that easy not a bit macracky. Yes, we share the combination of America and Israel. Now Omako with a full scale. Now American J.R. Ford, Gerald Ford, fly a vessel. Now Asad Abraham Lincoln, you know, troops over 40,000 Guso. Ordinary warheads, 12 of them in the Arabian Peninsula. What the enclave see around the whole thing. Saudi Arabia, Qatar, Kuwait, Bahrain, and Oman. 12 vessels. Now, the one that was starting Bahrain, and then American destroyers, then take of the aircraft in Kwande Guso. And yet, they are finding it difficult because American are confused now. So, uncle full scale. Or not just so full scale, they have to kill them all. And that will create also another word problems. And I said, if also say America can only launch from those countries, not closer to the belts of Iran. And it is so to flight now, or if either Saudi Arabia base, and answer or the free Qatarian base, and or the free Emirate base. And now Iran forms to put pressure on countries like Saudi Arabia. So you can't do that. Because anyone in all fight anymore. And you fighting the cause and liberation of Palestine. You can't turn around and go and support Israel and America. And if that is the case, there country beyond American support services, logistical services, and a base to launch, you are also an enemy. What does it mean? It means that Obisa and Tokano, Semeno Koju, Meno Konisha in him, and if you know young chance of Koju Fabon and Nifabon Hano. Those are the ones and then Iran for no ASS and the proxies. I want support war. Proxies are the countries in America of all base within the region. And it also try say Obeko, yes, they will suffer a lot in the hands of American superpower, area superpower. Yes, they will suffer. But they will not go easily because 12 days been July, Israel for Koyen. When they realized at the rate dummy drones. But dummy drones was there. Israel, for Iran, for the drones may be echo Israeli airspace. And no more engage Israel for and no more to at the almost interceptors, intercepted drones. Sad drones no intercepting, they were nothing. Empty drones. Now your country erased in the whole world. Or what drains more power drones now? We Iran, China, and all. America needs our drones, Israel needs our quantity. And to only deploy a lot in the air. Now America and Israeli interceptors, because you're interested in no more catch it, no more who do the fire, no more air to take drones, While they are busy doing that, Iran for are close to Oma hit target. Look at baby Iran war. Next baby Saudi Arabia war. Next baby Israel war. If they are able to shoot down from 1,500 kilometers away, if they are able to do 1,600 kilometers, 1,700 kilometers, 1,800 to Dubai, your friend say, Saudi Arabia, it means that their precision rate, as they've been warned by some of the old American generals, that you got to be very careful with these guys. And the American foreign concentrate with Tehran, and Omdikas almost say military bases. But these Iranians, they know what they were doing. They know what the world, one day, America will come after them. And to deploy all military bases in baby. And the Wugas almost Yeshu, yes, they will lose a lot. America will lose a lot. Israel will lose a lot. But then one thing you and I should know, they say, that is war. America will not concede to the world. Say na casualties in this year.
I don't cry Farouk, I don't cry there. Yeah, but updates ya near Bobano, Iran for the Baba to just say, American for no ferry, say one more Ebeka casualties ya, one more air sofa. Na Enyami and Sassina Donald Trump, air canonwa, they can say, well, bought a sa. Nipa soldier for me and son mo wu na baso e wo White House no na wono so wa yam bi pa wa yam American soldier for ni bi pa
otime hete Bahrain Bahrain, vessel, no, and no American backup when they are fighting within that region. Because as the warheads, the jet fighters, 22 bomber and F-22, South Fleet in the over 50 are facing up, and all 40 on the back. If you are deployed, it is what Tima hates our base, what Tima hates our platform now. There's no way America back at you say any pattern in the way. But this is the war strategy say. America doesn't want the family because the domestic and the local pressure in the United States, will be mounted on Trump big time. And in China cleverly, use Israel. Cleverly, Israel for air. Surveillance aircraft in America for the Israel for non-Navy. American for. They are using the Israeli experts, their fly machines. It because say on my American for casualty near higher. There is a war also called military operation. There is a war called support Israel military action. And that is the case, is turning into the dead toll over invasion or war. If that is the case, American Constitution does not allow Donald Trump, as we speak, to go to war or to declare war because there is no basis for war. So if it's military operation and it takes more than 3, 4, 5 days, then it means why overstretch America? Logistics become a cost. Cost of your friend is saying logistics. Cost of debt in total. Too hard. Then one would ask, you went in support of Israel, or you want as a proxy fighter for Israel. Ironically, any Israel for started fighting. It's Donald Trump who ordered the American vessels in the region and said, attack. Then Israel came to support. Now, it is rather American proxy of Israel, but it turns out to be said now, Israel a proxy fighter for America, which is very dangerous.
The man for should be a busana, a man for hearing say Bianca, a mind bit say China, and now say Russia, potentially, ka omboba be bois Iran. If you say a picture America, and especially Ukraine, a penti in the public domain, they say, Mr. Putin, an exchange campaign, one more support to Iran. Ama drones you cry what can was the Mukrano. Iran producing a large quantities here. No, I can't comment Mr. Putin be. I'm what the Babakun over Ukraine. It's a summer to Iran, dear. Nanka, if you are saying, Mr. Putin, and be a China, bet me a support to Iran, Kakra, but don't let me answer my issue statement to condemn France act no air one.
Okay, could you draw back to the your friends UN Security Council? The 5 permanent non-members no more veto powers. China, France, the Great Britain, that is the UK, America, and your friend is saying Russia. These 5 members, all the time the 3 had gone against the 2. And to me, they go through whatever that they put out there. The 2, China and Russia, back days in the olden days of the World War I, World War II. Russia and China, Russia was the one that held the bay and the stop of the German, Nazis. Your friends are Hitler. Russia stopped that. They stopped that, offered the whole Balkans as babies. But he did not take the whole Balkans as Romania is free, Hungary is free, Slovakia, Czech Republic, they gave them their independence. The only place that Russia was holding was the East German belt called the DDR, Dresden, Leipzig, East Germany. Now, Russia, cleverly, as you know, it is the world that America and the British propagandists, news propaganda, because we don't hear Russian news, we don't hear Chinese news, we don't hear BBC, CNN. It is what is out there. NBC News, CBC News is what you and I, the world, buys. But if you look at from peaceful pact and the peaceful pact of it, Russia had always been pro-peace, China had always been pro-peace. Now the catch here is that China they will lose much to gain to go and support militarily. They will not. Underground, they may support logistically. The logistics, they may support underground. They may support maybe financial. They may support other things. But say China open combative or open combat, now the rate any stage, maybe China then economy, They don't want to create any kind of enemy in a sense of so be a proxy or back proxy war. No. Okas will come American team standing. I must tell you. Okas will come Israel team standing. Russia and America, Russia and China. So Omukobwa Iran. It is a full-blown escalation of a war within that region. Russia on ye, China on ye. Adia China manning ye say. China during the Second World War occur as Axis power. Axis power no one call as Axis power occur Western, no only America, only France, only British, only Italy, only Spain, any the Western countries and they fight against the German Nazis. And then today Italy, no fighting against America. Today Japan, no fighting for the German Nazis, for Hitler. Japan for Minakun, Ethiopia is the only African country they were fighting for Hitler. Now, after no Second World War, China called back because of support to America and Russia, and Japan called to share China so. And the China was showing a lesson. Japan China, boom, West for now support to China, and in the mema China would declare a communism say ya kwa anwuchim near Kobwa near Benya town for there. We are not going anywhere. Ye critique communist government. Ye Ntwaba near Shishe crew near Titi crew. That is how China came to the development, and then the 50 years plan by Chairman Mao and what they do, baby, I'll do. So China has a lot to lose. Then Russia does not fight. Russia can so fight here. Obetimaka the whole Middle Europe abum enomako. I must tell you this because Russia lose to fight the other. From Generation 1, that is the World War I, World War II, Russia was never defeated. And Ukraine, they can defeat Russia. They dare not. Even the whole NATO crack, they will suffer. Meaning, say, on Russia, or declare military action, military operation against Ukraine. Say, Crimea, Donbass region, men call for any Russia, and Omanchannel, and no call invasion, and the Ukraine for anti no declare war. It's now only busy with Ukraine, say. Yemfa one day in war. She say the war Ukraine. Why destroy a country? No, why could do Kiev or destroy? Americans know, and then Trump himself said no. Now no, Zelensky go and give in. You can't fight Russia, win him. And it is one pass Russia, Echo China, no so Iran. Then it's going to be another time. Even though it cannot escalate to World War III, there can't be any World War III.
And one annan for yam sure mopanti yes wa we sa fear no e dey free ho na Farouk yan hwan so enumre ya me no kasa sesi e na Sekestama UK Prime Minister na Donald Trump aka kire nsanka omma no British air bases ni bi na ka American for metna ho na wo mo fire towards France Iran na Donald Trump will say Sekestama or dragging the feet. In fact, I'm say latter part of a conversation I'm na fe na Sekestama no wa preso asem wa miankas na me hwebi na me monitor asem wa British Prime Minister no can say we'll take lessons from what happened in Iraq. Next I say 1 to 2 mreka emfa Britain enko wura to kwado se basa de a ma Iran anwodena na
Koyo Maminchel said, one of the British Prime Minister from the time of Margaret Thatcher in 1990, then came John Major, then came the fine man Tony Blair. Tony Blair 8 years, or 7 years, the disgrace as a politician as one of the best British Prime Ministers. Okudi George Bush Eko Iraq. Following American intelligence and raw information said Iraq war nuclear heads. But then America had their mission. And to kwanim kwaye deno and a British Royal Army Tony Blair or die Emma or to me convince the head of state, that is Queen Elizabeth, and will move Koima, British folk or Basra. Omna Kokun Topan or ground because American team go ground. And a day and Guasia by Tony Blair or resign quietly. And until Tony Blair, he quickly reached out to Muammar Gaddafi to plead. And Yama Omaye, so watcher on to say Gaddafi be woman, his friendly friend, Tony Blair, because of misleading information in America. So Starmer would then make a big mistake because British why you be that. And America can't talk. The British sitting at the UN Security Council with them. America said, we are taking a unilateral decision to safeguard the interests and the people and the citizens of the United States. Primarily, no, Iran, Tribune, America. It is the first point of call, and the first point of relying on for the assistance, UK. And don't forget, say, Trump has bastardized and then disrespected the UK, or bastardized or disrespected Stammer, and then those ones before there is a media or disrespected woman. And the British Constitution, the British Parliament, the lower and upper Congress, for them, Lydia, it is unlike the America where the Congress and then also the Senate, Republicans now somehow almost supporting man. Yes, he will face some challenges because the lesson, as you made mention of, so when you're careful, now could draw the British bases now and what also the Arabian world, or could draw them into the conflict. The moment Trump because we could fly from home. Iran could blast British troops. Okay, then it's an open confrontation for British also to be in the air. What does it mean? Royal Air Force and then American Air Force. Then the Israeli Air Force is in the air against one country. So they want to put a pressure on the UK. And the America had done the same thing during the World War II. When the British were being a little bit, Americans were isolated. British also put pressure, making the American feel that Germans were even at the door of America before so move them into a strategy, a game plan. But Trump, on say untimin kasa more to say they know best start to fighting. One who said a easy fight, and one who said 12 days operation be Israel for is the same Trump who told Benjamin Netanyahu who said, "Winning Bibi and Kofono at the coin, they send more drones in the air, but Bibi no more hit target or Tel Aviv. And Tian will draw and will treat here at Jobre. How come by? Suddenly, Mosako the same thing. Bearing in mind, said 12-day operation was how to rocket at the core. Your friend say, Qatar, a blue pepper, a lade pepper, a destroy dine. And they say, what do Saudi Arabia? And if he has launched missile, obetimi, ICBM or more, obetima launch it to Saudi Arabia, obetima launch it to Kuwait there. Then there's going to be a proxy war which America and Israel wants to put the whole Arabians into it for them to fight against Iran. It is very sad development. But then at the end of the day, British must be careful. Once France are when they become full-blown fighter, then America will now force France because they say no super regime change. So also Kokumayatola suspectedly Suwakuna. What again? Welcome defense minister. Also say installation only maybe a warheads anywhere. Monko destroy warheads, why are you still now saying say the people and the locals must take arms and fight and change their government? I think that is also very not right. And that is why on one who's a pressure abanity or get involved with all powers of the Western world for them to come. But the problem is why and chair and Awuka said Denmark, the Greenland. Europeans and we know more as we speak. And the whole Europeans decided to boycott even the World Cup if Trump doesn't stop those things. Now, there is no way. Denmark.
Farouk Weba, more share TV and Facebook, baby, Farouk Dano. Farouk, actually, the video be Hremo, the Aquaswani Binono. The kind of friends say aircraft supersonic a year and num more. Etimia hangi wiem na missiles no go na ebiso say na terms how sophisticated the world has become. Na Farouk now o ka France asem the mention me ye say superpowers no me monitor one reactions towards hostilities na so between between Israel and America on one hand and Iran on the other. Now, someone Emmanuel Macron just about 40 minutes ago and say, if you want to be free, be feared. If you want to be free, be feared. What translated what kinds? Son, or pass what you're saying?
Well, I think in other words. Or no, try to say, say, Utimibo, say, Opa, say, Tower.
A tongue of force.
Yes, what you say.
That statement we say no indirectly no one fan support Donald Trump there.
No. What I said, Macron our political upheavals because of the opposition and certain mistakes be a wire, and he's trying to safeguard and then clean his name. Macron with the France were issued to deal with economically because of the Sahel. Breaking the wings economically. France is facing problems because of your friends Burkina, Niger, and Mali. Interman the financials or one casa Macron and a problem locally. Into France would find it very difficult and tough. So at this point, Obeba open as a security council member, say or be declared in support. But one thing for sure that we all know is that if France wake up, say or support, then there will be a break of the front. Our the NATO. Because NATO no Germans no so top notch our NATO but German kontokwa enti Belgium also na host the NATO also kontokwa Holland on kontokwa enti France free NATO no so kokwa then the NATO become weaker, then Russia becomes stronger. Russia will take advantage of whatever is happening and finish Ukraine and ground the whole country. That is what another thing. And the Europeans in Sika vote to support Ukraine and then to make sure that Ukraine survives. So France be free media. France cannot send two wings out there. Baku comedy is now Baku call Ukraine. And so support that will overstretch the French, which already suffer our financial because we need resources to feed up the budget and also the economy. It is a dicey situation, and that is the catch. So Kunya president. Ebia Ukura such a big power called the world police, the world president of Donald Trump. Nessa Opentoka. Now on Tinia maybe has no ticket. That is how he plunged the whole world into crisis. But for me, at the end of the day, understand and the public and the listeners should know say Donald Trump is fully fledged businessman who had been a businessman or no Ankwasa Mayor Giuliani in New York. On any contokwa during the time now Giuliani 95, 90 no ye mayor. At the end of the day, that is the man obey an advisor, that is the man obey a lawyer. What does it tell? Well, a businessman. And to all what he's seeking to do, and he said Wall Street consultants, as we speak, investment consultant, brokers consultant, which he owns a lot of the companies. They are going to make huge money. They are going to make huge money in consultancy, huge money in oil deployment, oil, your friend is saying, sales and oil marketing. I want to be on an agenda. But repercussion of it, we need that experience to know, say, so who could do a bit, say, BB, Netanyahu, he's only surviving and wants to survive politically because of Yusuf and Takwa Iran, any Hamas, Hezbollah, any Daesh, any ISIS, any Al Qaeda, and they maintain the political gravity or the political hold on Israeli prime ministership.
Now, repercussions, what was to say, the economic angle. Sesia, Osha, Iran for SCZ, the Strait of Hormuz. Ne pronoa, da one my we are na ye no airborne common water, gas, oil and gas. Ya a free China to and fro, Iran, the free Australia, New Zealand, a holding Nantiano, Wababa Duaboso. It is what you have Boswa. Meno Kazasiana, ama a shoe to friends, fuel prices. But one no Iran and Casano, Awaya Sano. Sa wano so kakra beka no because befa nse bia China ne no bedidwa na China so ntimi made a anye wano so no woye no abono so enti from that economic perspective no na beka no
one beka more of the Europeans, beka more of the African countries like ours. I am prepared to say against future occurrences like this. Let me tell you, sir, Iran on your country Iran on your country Iran or your country on your weapons, our ton weapons, or ton oil and gas, years and years long. American George Bush time, Clinton, your friend is Obama time, Joe Biden, economic embargo, financial embargo till today, no. Iran had not crashed. don't forget, say, or was still enough for Bayusu. Omo to say, dear, na me no me no takra, the enim say, baby, crana, you turn 1 gallon of Ghana fuel. Kojo to Ghana fuel, New Canada. But those countries in the Arabian world, almost subsidize it because our livestock, apart from the other sending, and the economic there, even economically, America crown also always can be young. Oh, then a problem, because President Trump have a contingency budget for defense. Because as a say, what the Tomahawk cruiser missiles, was starting more than 30, 40, 50, and so quickly America replace it because China now will be raising arms against Sina. Some missiles are confining him. And to say, Yisika, and to missiles, it also put economic pressure, regardless of the fact that Omuska, it put pressure on each and all of them. But the biggest sufferer are mother Europeans or the Europe, and the biggest sufferer are the African countries, and for that matter, part of the Asia. And that comes to tell you, sir, country biana dudwana wenya oil no, they are not trying to produce much as they will sell some. They will keep some for the purpose because the energy that shows the economic activity, either high or low, of every country. But Trump and some of these leaders, that is where they feel say they take advantage of one, OG country in the budget, OG contingency budget. Also, you are corrupt, say, yeah. Also, you see the defense budget during the time of war to escalate, to corrupt, and then to take money. And it is a combination of obia affected fight to win a two. But what I'm looking at it, it is happened to be say, kojo omu free military operation, a ya be a big thing because Iran for guso keka omu guso keka omu to the court to say as we speak economic activity about hit Emirates big time because Emirates the flight akodi abonchen otua landing fee the flight be do Accra near tone airspace ma otua landing fee Accra flight nenko. Look at the passengers from Argentina, the passengers of Brazil, the passengers of Germany. Some flight in Ababidi outside. Every passenger will cry Emirates ticket. They have to buy their hotel bill. They have to give them food because Mato ticket. One hour famine call because and you have to take care of me. Now the huge passengers are called inside Emirates. Huge passengers a good airport. Emra omukodi induce sa crowd inducement, I was caught up in that trap. I was Dubai airport for 3 good years. Omko induce class in Suntana. Omon prepare and Sun Kotobroson. 4 days now you dino airport. Kojo, it was nice how the pressure at the airport and over 15,000, 20, 50,000 people. One airport to be in your baby uncle. We have to queue to go to the washroom, even the business class. It is the same situation that passengers now are in distress at Dubai airport. What about hotels? It is should Dubai hotels BBB. Any visitors are called BBB. Omom take it 20-man flight. Ghana for Akujo, Nigeria for Akujo, Chad for Akujo. Africa has 48 flights and go Dubai. 48 countries flights and go Dubai. Ethiopia ni Kenya mon count, but the Dubai na Ankasa lande Africans so 48 destinations. And you could watch it. Africans I could do a woman piece Obian hotel the BS man aduanidi. Obian hotel BS done free. And it puts a hard economic burden on the frontline states. At this point, the frontline states are those now Israel and America put them into the crisis. Needlessly, they didn't think that the effect of it, repercussion of it, and it's our airspace. Since a plane be about jet be about commercial jet be an enemy, a target. Which airline no make mistake say make a for flight Enko. It is a flight be grounded. Wetima hit target or Dubai airport. Wetima hit Dubai airport. So ko hit biom then the problem becomes America for okay any interceptors in kwa modern one. That's what me hit it.
Okay, you go video no. You go video no aba semwanga samohu. And some air coastal, share a tour and rockets in it. Last now because a Ghana, young canto can now Ghana, I canto cow. Bomb no go to be where never I got to bomb. In the bomb, I got out of the war, and I bomb back anyway. I'm a gaga will tell us soon, Jana. But the other kind is and yeah, okay, yeah, na adubro embra na we say Ghana. Ntibuni mama me be no me fa we ntu ja mo amko World Cup no mo amko he World Cup no mo nya hwe if say sankofu mo tiri mo osumi rockfo na eyifo no mo he de om de World Trade Center ho na bibia betu Messi World Cup ni mu bibia betu Messi and ha no mo so ayo ma so mbedi ewu mbedi ewu World Cup ni but ye bom pa ese nyaminti Manessa, Yaminti, and Manessa. Media to Flossanan, the doubting Thomas, who flaming mail so and Mamma Fimi and Sana, their account fear home. Aha, THEO TV, I must subscribe on Amon share, Amon like it. More of it, the Bremo, Ewaha, and Ye Studio B. Aha. Macramo, must subscribe on Amon share, I Namunjamu comment. Aha, na afe. Mama Bibia aye kama mi fanchi akese nko Belgium nko ma ye graduate poni ne manu edem di first na me na ye Betty ai mi chichi obi na making enso ewo UK ai sanso na ona bo Julius Debra ai ona bo daddy mi chia papa e jam wiase ai Godfather mi chia Mr. Suman Motors ai me chia papa ai Miss Bell na nekia abi 16 years or say the other band dey change kure or say ai Adamfo Bonny Adamfo Bonny Adamfo bi ho ye Adamfo Bonny papa no na nyina na o sell ai na o sell sa e di agede en ntino Vivian James so me fa ncha kase enfama o bia o bia honorable Sammy Jemfi gold board ai fo na me chia mo Sammy Jemfi me say ade atowani ai ho ka fo papa ai 1 week na akodi awie ye na ye twen ye ba be support to say kutu say bam ai say kutu say bam. Alright, Macramo, I producer, director, editor, Camera Bibia, I the wonder boy. Macramo.
THEO TV. Tutumika, na brother share THEO TV. Many junior away na make us out. To me let them broke now. I go to have a jet situation.